long-range plan, we all understand that short-term decisions that are based on a lot of the priorities that we put in this plan. Transportation, decisions, wages, environmental, housing, we have a lot of topics, trails, and one is glad to see that they come out and understanding the points of it and give us your feedback. We're all good.
Yes, you are.
And I just want to recognize some of the staff. You'll see pretty much everybody with the name tag and answer questions for you. We have Anna Kluberger, right in front here, who is one of our key county staff members. Matt Edmond, who's a transportation planner at the commission. Ryan O'Leary will be giving the presentation later. He's the county planning section chief and planning commission. Leah Guidry, who's our lead transportation planner and assistant director of the county. And we got Rita Hunt, who does a lot of our communication. So thank you for coming tonight, and I'll turn it over to Ryan.
Okay, great, thanks. Thanks all for coming. We're going to spend about 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so running through our draft comprehensive plan. And here's what the plan looks like. It's available online. If you'd like a full paper copy, please let us know and sign up front. So what I'm going to do is kind of describe pretty broadly what's in the plan, and then after I'm done, please look through that. So any questions or comments that you have, and let us know any concerns you have, and hopefully I or one of the other staff members can answer your questions. The comprehensive plan, really the county comprehensive plan, well different from the municipal plan. What are the elements of a county plan? I think there's kind of three reasons to have a county plan. One is the county plan is required by state law to provide guidance on growth and development and preservation for local municipalities. That's just a requirement of the state. But then the real purpose of the plan, from our view, is to tackle issues of transcending local municipal boundaries. We have so many of them. They're listed here. Transportation is probably the most obvious one. Flooding, environment, rail, economic development, kind of development trends. They all go beyond local boundaries and they work with partners to address these issues. And then the third element of the comprehensive plan and why we're doing it is guiding county government about what are we going to do? What's going to be the highest priority for us for bridges to read, our trails to build, and those types of things. The plan's divided into two halves. Montgomery County today, which is background information and trends. And then what we're going over today, which is the shared vision plan. We've guided by a steering committee that has a lot of folks on it from all over the county, representing all kinds of different stakeholders, from municipal officials to developers, to farmers, to recreation, preservation folks, health. Really, there are plenty of once again on steering committee. And then our outreach process has been pretty extensive over the last year. Last fall, we went out to communities and presented to Montgomery County today. Talk about trends. What are your issues? What do you want to see in the plan? Survey, over 2,500 people answered the survey, and we did a lot of back and forth. What do you want to see? Then working with the steering committee, we came up with goals and visions, and those were shared in early in the spring. And now we're here in the fall trying to get input on the draft. So let's jump into the plan. The plan is designed around three themes, and the themes are connected communities. Connected communities, I think everyone felt was a real role for the counties, helping communities connect, whether it's through transportation, trails, and obvious connections, or helping build partnerships, helping to create places for people. The second theme is sustainable places. This really came out very strongly in our meetings. A lot of people said, we really like the places we have. We want to improve them, we want to strengthen them, we want to protect them, we want to sustain our natural environment and our building. And then the third area, ever since the Great Recession and the economy has become ever more important. And so the third theme going to the plan is vibrant economy. The plan's laid out among over those three themes, plus we have a concluding piece that talks about transportation and land use. So let's jump into it, connected communities. The first thing is partnership. It's really guiding everything we want to encourage municipalities to work together, to participate in organizations that work together, particularly the planning that happens. And planning can be informal, can be formal. We have 4 formalized planning initiatives in the county. If you look at it, I'm going to use this screen over here to highlight things. But you look at the ones that are highlighted in purple. Here we are, here's Abington, here we are in Abington. Those are our 4 multi-municipal planning groups. Those communities got together, they've done a common comprehensive plan, and they said, and it gives them some benefits, particularly some protection from some legal challenges on uses. But the other benefit besides that is they're kind of working together. They know what's going on. They're not, sticking something right on the border that their neighbor's not going to like. Really want. That's something we encourage communities to try to do. A second part of connected communities, and the goals are listed at the top, and then kind of how we're implementing what's below. It's improved transportation options for all. Really give people more choices. This first map shows new choices that are in the plan for roads. You can see there aren't a ton of input on this. These are brand new things. Mostly the transportation plan is about widening and improving our existing roads. But there are some new road recommendations. And the ones most relevant to this area are right here. And this is the interchange. We have an effort going to get on the turnpike to get more interchanges on the turnpike. And one is proposed to make Virginia Drive, which leads in the 4 Washington offices. The second is to get an interchange on Wells Road at Peninsula to provide more options to drivers. What's happening right now is the turnpike was built and the interchange is far apart because we built two things. Uses commuter road. Those interchanges are so far apart. You have to travel on the local roads that are long distance. And a lot of times those local roads are only this long, you need something. On public transportation, we're proposing a couple of expansions of public transportation. And if you look at the blue lines, those are existing rail lines, so there isn't much of a change proposed. Except that SEPTA really is going to be spending a lot of money and effort in improving these systems. They went decades without significant improvement. Bridges need to repair, the lines, the stations, the retaining walls, the power, all those things need to be fixed on the existing system. But the plan also calls for some improvements, and there are 2 that I want to highlight here. One is the Warminster line, getting that to a double track, so that we don't have the same issues with the way the trains have to function at certain peak times. The second is to get the increase in frequency on the trending line. I think that's trending. West trending line. They increase the frequency of every 30 minutes. And then the plan talks about more choices for walking and bicycling. Let's make walking and bicycling easier in the county. And related to that, we're going to immediately start implementing in one area is we're going to do a walkability plan for the county. We're going to be looking for partners to look at 4 different areas where we want to do walkability on. And those are walkability to the downtown, train station, school, and to a suburban community. So just keep that in the back of your mind when we do some outreach for partners. The next area of connecting people is to expand the county trail system. And on this map, you'll see that the red lines are existing trails, and the blue lines are proposed trail network. High priority is continuing to finish existing trails. And so along the Pennypack Trail, we're already doing that right now. That's Another high priority is what's called the Cross County Trail, which is built. If you've been on the Schuylkill Trail in Township, and you've been in IKEA, the trail goes right in front of IKEA, and that's Metroplex stores there. It's built up in Germantown to continue the connection across the county. This will connect up here, and we'll eventually have a very nice water. And this just lists those trail priorities, areas mentioned in the penny packet. And then a fourth goal related to connecting people is supporting our places where people connect, our downtowns, our art areas, our libraries, mixed use areas. That isn't a direct role of the county, that's a role of other people, but we can partner, support, and advocate. So our next theme is sustainable places, trying to sustain what we have. And the first thing that we have here is a map showing the county roads and bridges. And what we're doing is prioritizing the bridges. It's a little hard to read here, but the reds are bridges that are top candidates for replacements. The purple is for rehab. The blue are for either, not sure yet. And the green are one that we think should be closed or transferred to someone else for some reason. So in the Abington area, or Cheltenham area, replacement is one in Cheltenham Township on Easton Road, goes over the creek there. And then for rehabilitation, it's a couple of roads. Rehab or replacement, we have one here that's in that's the Washington Lane Bridge, and then right there is another. So those are a few county-owned bridges. You can see there are a lot of bridges that are proposed as higher priority for downtown. Pardon? Elimination of turnover, we didn't have any really with this part of the county, so they're out. So. It would be either the bridges dismantled or we get dismantled. And there's a good example of that right here in Lower Frederick, where PennDOT's going to be. We'd actually probably be happy to turn over all the bridges. So Abington, maybe we want to have the bridges, well, they've got off, but usually that is the way it is. And then on the infrastructure network, we have as a goal of supporting a modern, resilient, union. Each of these elements is important. This is infrastructure that the county doesn't generally control. But once again, we partner with the advocate for source systems upgrades. Sources are often something that's forgotten. So under the ground law, infrastructure system. But we want them to be resilient. We want them to be able to survive the storm. And more of an issue climate change. We want them to be green as green as possible. We want them to be energy efficient. Do all these things that improve our infrastructure. Our next goal in sustainable places is related to flooding and stormwater management. And there's two areas of this that the county is directly involved in. The first is, you may not be aware, but the county does plans for all of Abington is covered. These blue areas are areas that there's been a plan for the watershed. What these plans do is they control how the storm water comes out. If you're right next to the Schuylkill River, you're going to want the water to go out right away before the flood. If you're way upstream, you might want to hold on to the water for next time. That's what this plan is. We are proposing to do a county-wide plan for all the watersheds at once, and that would take care of these green areas. The second area that the county is very involved in with stormwater is that we are a municipality. We are required to comply with the federal requirements, and that's SCORE requirements, for stormwater control. So we have a program. And then there's two more areas in the plan. We advocate on stormwater management. We've been holding a lot of educational seminars on that recently. In fact, Mike Windsor In 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we have a bunch of subscribers like that.
We're having an opportunity to build a rainwater more than off the park. So it depends on installation and the lower county asset and one of the rainwaters for all build them there and be a part of the solution.
Mike Stokes is one of our assistant directors, and we are holding this event, and we hold a number of events at school. And then the other thing is we do have a lot of ordinance for floodplain areas, and we do advocate for communities trying not to allow development. Our next goal is to conserve natural resources, environmentally sensitive areas, farmland, open space. We want to continue to see those areas preserved. The priority is for county park areas are shown in this map. So are there natural areas near county parks? Or perhaps we can expand the parks to see some preservation. The Lower Mere Park is an example of that. There might be some opportunities over time because there's some extra money in there that's environmentally sensitive land helping control. And we do have in the plan descriptions of every county park, including Lower Mere Park, where there are a number of recommendations. For Lower Mere, there's that expand when possible on some abutting environmental and sensitive land. Working on the trail and connecting the trail is being worked on right now, the bridge in the rock ledge, and the extension up into towards Gwinnett and Lower Moreland. And the third thing is the facilities stations. Right, our next goal is to provide more opportunities for a healthy lifestyle. There's kind of two halves in this. One half is the exercise. It used to be that planning and health were like two different worlds, and we didn't talk to each other. And I think people will recognize that what happens with the built environment affects people's health, particularly for the ability to walk or to bicycle. And so that is part of our recommendations here, and also getting in our county parks more opportunities and areas. We also want to work with local communities and bring recreation folks together and constituents. The other piece is food. We have a farmland preservation program, and we're going to do some efforts to try to encourage local food and connect our farms more. Our next goal is supporting housing. We want really the county to have housing for everyone. All folks in the county should have good housing. Wherever they might be. So the county will continue its program where they you get fees for when a claim's reported or when a property is reported and sold. And those fees is a little fee that goes into the affordable housing trust. We want to continue that to support affordable housing projects. The focus is shifting a little bit towards families and the disabled. It used to be a little more of a focus on the elderly. In addition, that's kind of a direct county thing. Then we also will advocate and we partner with folks on who are working on housing issues. We're also, you may not be aware, there is a Montgomery County housing agency that is not part of county government. It's separate. We get federal funding. We have public housing projects in Montgomery County, and we also have a housing voucher program. The implementation related to that are to upgrade the public housing rehab and also the contingency vouchers installed over the and the final goal is enhancement technology. This is a little bit of a grab bag goal, I'll admit, but it's really related to protect the neighborhoods and all the different things that can go into that, from historic preservation, tree canopy, to the county organizes the 911 system. We're in the middle of a process of a major upgrade of that system. All right, so that's two of our themes. The third theme is the vibrant economy. We want to have a strong economy. How can we do that? Well, economic development and transportation is very closely linked. And so we want to see better access to our employment center. This map's similar to the other one you saw about new projects, not all of these are new, but these are getting at ways to get better access. And really that is the whole point of the Turnpike Corridor project, is to get better access to our employment center. So the two that I mentioned before would help out in this local area of Abington, up in New Orleans, Township, up in Belmont.
It's a preserve of airports. Are you going to be ready to have airports?
Yeah, so one of them is preserving existing airports. It kind of disappears slowly over time. So we used to have a lot more airports than we do now. And we kind of want to keep the ones we have in case businesses feel that they are particularly useful for them for one reason or another, whether it's getting some high cost goods put them in and out and for executive purposes. And another reason we want to keep it is make sure we keep our county airports. And this map doesn't have it, so that's where they are. But is you never know what's going to change. So maybe some type of air transportation or by some way like before. So anyway, we have an airport here in Woodgate Township, and there's one out here in Limerick. It's a smaller one that's stripped back in this area. And then we have one Hudson Borough has one here. And I think those are the main ones. It's small. It's a very oddball one up in Abington. It's a combination airport, I think a golf course, and residential development where you could land your plane, drive in your hangar, go to your home. So it's kind of unique. It's from the 50s. And then there's a heliport. And then there's still Royal Road Naval Air Station. Royal Road Naval Air Station. We are saying here. About Wings is still there. So the next goal is encouraging development, transformative investment in infrastructure all over the business. Let's have redevelopment of our office space. That's really a major goal of the county. Another is, I think, potentially, industrial trends are changing a little bit. It used to be, we're just losing industrial jobs. There is new interest in industrial development in the Philadelphia region. We're hoping they're coming from capital. The problem is saying, don't transfer all industrial development. Let's do some investment. And then relating to this goal of transformative investment, the greens and the yellows are kind of mixed on the screen here. But where we already have development, let's make that where we focus a lot of our investment in our development. Let's not do it. Businesses involved in the assets. And the first part of this is assist businesses, the one located in Montgomery County. The county's already done a lot of this. They've created a common commerce department, a one-stop shop that has consolidated a number of different agencies that are nonprofit and nationwide. In addition, the plan really emphasizes on workforce investment in training. Our next goal is flexibly adapt to changing market conditions. This is kind of an oddball goal, but things are changing a little bit. Millennials seem to want, younger workers seem to want to live in urban environments. How do we appeal to those workers? We haven't a lot of nice urban environments. But we need to make an effort to attract those younger workers. What do we do about our aging population? What are some of the things we do? Retail is changing. How are we going to address maybe the overemphasis on too much retail?
Like aging or aging?
Aging. Yes.
55% I think we need to get far off the road. And
But I don't see any real to increase all the township. And that's the possible. That's the sole that I would have to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think we're going to. And there's a small, this is public transit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I'm going to get to a public transportation now, but three or four slides. So let me just elaborate on that a little bit. And I think your point's a point we hear frequently, and it all comes down to dollars.
And that's a part of economic development too.
Yes.
We need to have that access to jobs.
Yep. I mean, and one reason Township included as the office market is because they have a train line. Now, I think initially, the reason it moved was they were at the intersection, Blue Route got done, the intersection of Blue Route, 76. They were close to Philadelphia, but not in Philadelphia. There was a lot of wealthy population around them. But now, people are realizing it's expensive, too. And a lot of workers are taking the train now. So one of the recommendations is that a train line. So extend the northbound hospital line out to the middle of the Russia, so that there is train access. So that's certainly in the plan, in the Manila, probably not to the scale that you're really prefer to see. But, and even that project didn't want to come back. Overly challenging, but we do think it's a high goal. So we can go, I'll circle back to this a little bit when I get to this one. And then the final goal of vibrant economy is to facilitate the marketing of the county. We also, the Valley Forge Tourism Convention was already really doing a Make It Montco, really marketing Montgomery County. We've done that in a way that other counties have. Let's get a visit. We actually have a lot of that. We have the Abington Arts Center in this area. It's got a lot of nice things. We have the Castle here. That's a little more well-known. We have a lot of things that attract people. All right, so let's turn to the vision here. The land use vision, we want modern, walkable, mixed-use commercial areas. We want new development in our research and business parks. Preserve our rural areas, have vibrant downtowns. This is the issue we were just talking about, transit-oriented development around our train station. This is next to Spring Mill train station, a new apartment complex with structured parking and apartments surrounding it and surrounding meadows. And let's protect our great residential neighborhoods. So the plan has growth in rural areas, and pretty much it's already a developed place. And the land use vision then talks about these growth areas, basic growth areas, and it says, well, what's most appropriate in this direction? What do we want to see in the downtown? Well, downtown Abington, we don't want to see a strict commercial fast food restaurant and a drive-through because it doesn't fit. So the one talks about what fits real and and then on transportation, a variety of elements to it, improving our roads, our public transit, trails, and walkability. On our roadway projects, these are projects that either are already funded, are expected to be funded by 2020. In the aren't a lot in this part of the county. 202 is probably one of the main ones in this area. But we have, all right, this is the Edge Hill Tyson Road area, and the bridge there, and then this is Church and Green. Then we have projects, see there's a lot more, this is projects we'd like to have funded, but we don't have the money for it right now. And once again, I think probably the most important ones are improving the turnpike interchanges or expanding. I've also proposed kind of an interesting one over here, which is a road guide on Washington Lane. and not having it so sometimes we widen our roads. Sometimes we need an arrow, not having so wide. If they're just too wide, we're going too fast. It's actually clean. Just put some landscaping, some rain gardens, like in those places. In Abington's already done that. And then public transit, I already mentioned this before. This has a little more detail. So where you see kind of the symbol with a number and station improvements are proposed. And I mentioned some of the lines, including some of the lines and how they function. More frequent service. I think it's one of the first things to do with public transportation to improve than we're at, have more frequent service, higher quality facilities. So that's a start. And then there's parking garage proposed here. Momentarily going away. It's nice data. No, right in there. No, so there are some proposals here. That train I talked about that was to extend into here, Russia is this line here. We do have other train lines proposed. It's most expenses in the train. One is to take the Norristown line out. There's a bit Abington in Russia, go out to Queensville and Chestnut County, out to Foxtown, and then out to Wyoming and Cedar Bay. So that is one proposed major public transportation improvement. Money once again is there. The other one is continue the line from Lanesville that goes out towards Quakertown, go all the way to Quakertown, good salary. Yes, what about the new area? The new timeline, we propose that, yeah, that's right. So that's the one that we were actually thinking. Maricopa County is really dark out. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything new on that. They always know offhand.
Yeah, there's Bucks County over the years has county officials officially went to 4 weeks ago. All the townships around and you can around and out and I think we see RTD really least we did long for them. That was a real thing.
Yes.
Think about the expense road. So there's a thing that I was planning to do now.
Right, so that's very long term. So right now, it's not one of our priorities. It's in the plan, but not as one of our highest priorities. It would cost about $430 million. Probably the higher demand area is actually the parts in Montgomery and Chester, rather than part outside of the However, Berks County is strong advocate for it. We'll build it out. The Pottstown was taken all the way out to the way. They have been exploring everything that.
Yeah, we finished up the study a couple of years ago on that segment of the RRG with Pottstown, with Blue Grove Pottstown. Berks County is one of the two recommended today. So we're working with Berks County and that effectively defend that.
If we go back to the snap, here's one out for that. That's not the high priority. The high priority is the expanding service on a couple of existing lines, including the Norristown line, fixing the current stations, and system is actually the highest priority. Yes.
That's telling that new ones are so expensive and honestly, whatever we build in this political.
Well,
Has to be better.
right. So we have 3 new lines proposed. And first of all, it's the regional kind of designs on these things. And so right now, the region is probably most interested in seeing a Norristown high-speed line. So that one has the highest probability. That's actually close to get funding in the fall. Not far, but in the future. That's really not the future.
That was being studied pretty intensely. You know, there's so many workers. I take the training in Northern High School on, I'm like on meetings like this, but they're completing the work. And the number of people I see getting off and going down is very high. So I think that's feasible. The other two are very much rolling shots. And that's why really the focus is on let's improve the service. That's powerful. Yes.
The cautionary tale.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle. Then we have another referendum, and they voted that down. That's what they say they want. Then they seem to have this subject, and they voted it down. And meanwhile, the cost has doubled. And the land you put it on, the more expensive it's going to be. And you really have to understand the impact. Because home these things, but you know we need.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, you know, as planners, you know, we know we need these things. We have to take for it. But the way people pay for it is very hard. I mean, I have to give kudos to the state legislature and governor for passing the increases for funding. Because all the stuff I just highlighted, very little of that would even happen without that increase that legislature. And just to give you an example, so the line out to Pottstown that was going to go out to Reading 2, we had a proposal to toll Route 422, tolling was made for the improvements to the highway, widening the highway, and improving the highway going into the budget, and would help pay for the capital to build the railway. And we don't charge on that one. And we still don't charge others on. People do not want to have a government road. And that gets exactly what we're talking about, and how hard it is to live in it. So let me just wrap up and then open up to general comments. So overall, we got our three things. We want to connect folks, we want sustainable places, and we want to have a vibrant. And that's really what's in the comprehensive plan. Here's our next steps. We're the September 17th meeting. We have our third meeting at the start of the 4th, so we'll be meetings next week. And then our board and the commissioners will be considering the various aspects of the plan, the rest of the plan. And then we'll be out again in communities looking at with this in the foreign partnerships. Just wanted to give you some info on where you can go for more info. So the website where you can see the plan is Montco.org/Montco23. And there's the contact information for myself and the one sitting there.
Contact Brian.
Something like this. These are QR codes. You take a picture of them if you have a smartphone, and it will take you directly to the website. We do have them posted on our table out front if I'm the easiest place. I am not sure of that. So they kind of take you to the website, so, but there are a lot of links to the website, and what we're doing with the plan right now is we're putting hot links in it where we discuss something and you want more info, and you can click on something, it's going to take you there. So before I open up to questions, I just want to describe a little bit about opportunities to give us comments and feedback. We have a variety of ways. Certainly, we'll be recording your comments and questions as you ask them there. We have the ability to write in comments and questions from the maps that are around. There's a place on our website where you see anything that you have. And then we have the various planners around in the audience, and then we can answer these. So, with that said, please, questions and comments. Yes.
How are you coordinating this for your transportation? How does that fit in with the plan?
So the map that I showed that showed the
kind of the programmed projects, that one is one that's been coordinated with PennDOT. The ones that are the one vision projects we like to see happen, PennDOT's familiar with many of them, but it isn't as detailed a process. Maybe Leo, you want to add something on that? Yeah. So the vision ones are ones, PennDOT specific projects they might know about, but it isn't the one that's programmed. As soon as we're trying to get it into the program, it's very involved cooperation.
But some of their activities are going to impact on this investors.
Right. So, they are someone we share all this information with. So, certainly, I think that's a pretty good relationship with them. Led by Leah. Yes.
This is probably just a general interest, but I'm interested in this, like the term like stormwater management. How do I learn more?
We have the stormwater management plan and some info about that and our BMPs on our website. Mike, do you have any other thoughts on how to get involved a little more with stormwater management side?
You're going to go to the back and you look at those plans, decide how long it will process that we follow. Okay. Well, the first thing right now is just it's up for the top. And now we get with the city of Philadelphia.
Do we have a draft of that on our website? So if you give us we can get you the exact one. Yes, sir. Well, the county does put a lot of funding into its library system. Right. Right. Right, you do. Right.
And then you say, you can go to the library and some of the sidewalk, suggesting that you can walk it, putting an office there.
Right.
So,
yeah, so kind of.
There's a lot of people who say, well,
right. Yeah, there are no. Really, the plan doesn't get into funding, so right now there's no recommended additional funding for libraries at this stage. So it really doesn't touch on funding on the library side of things. So the two county libraries near you in Schwenksville and Royersford, certainly there is a discussion in the plan to see those get improved in general and provide more services. And I think certainly myself, and I think a lot of people realize that libraries are getting less. People think libraries are going up, and that's very untrue, particularly people who want guidance and help with electronic connections and the web and things like that. But there's no specific thing in the plan on libraries. Yes?
Has anyone in this group done the survey on available internet speeds? The reason I say this is because I've been reading some article that says the new standard that's being implemented on small areas like Google is 1 gig per second upload bandwidth. And those speeds are thought to track frequencies that would need that sort of availability.
Right.
And they're telling people to piggyback off of people's other services.
Right. I'm not sure Mike or Ann have anything to answer on that.
There are some areas, That's something, you know, for more, we recognize the value of the core plan. That information is really sort of part of
Now, Ann did a survey of internet usage.
We included information in the background piece that Brian mentioned earlier about the broadband subscription rates.
It's a low, definitely.
That was data that was, I guess, made available on a nationwide level, but haven't come across any information on
The plan, I'm pretty sure, says that, you know, this is an important part of economic development. If it doesn't say that, we meant to say that, we'll add it in. So it's a good point. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't quite sure, I can find that, you know, there's a lot of unlike the council. So I just was wondering what the idea is.
Really, and there's strong interest in spirit maybe emphasize the things we're worrying about. So the range are really intended to identify walking zone and where more walkable development is being built. It's not saying necessarily that it's goes everywhere. So it's a single family detached neighborhood of 4 acre lots. You don't want to see an apartment building, you know, 5-story apartment, you can move away of that. On the other hand, maybe there's an old shopping center within that area. Maybe we want to see people.
Yeah, to me, it just seemed like some kind of solid, and I wasn't sure
Right.
what connection was.
Yeah.
You know, I understand, yes, people walk there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so it's intended to be kind of highlighting train stations here. You should be thinking about this and use some standards to discuss it and have that kind of development. But it's not much stronger than. So you have a little more of a detail on, you know, very thought about what is an alternative for you or something like that. That's very good. Yes.
With regard to actually still about the early presentation about I know it's been an issue the next year in the northern areas of the country early on state register funds. But there's an unsubstantial backlog in accountability to police. I was wondering if there's any sort of timeline given the for reducing that. It's a multi-year backlog. Reducing that. And if there's going to be a broader distribution of locations and townhouses, so folks for this place switch, as you mentioned, families, for this place for the communities to stay, even in their lives, of course, just going to the first time.
Right. Now, are you talking about public housing projects or the more private development?
It sounds like you're talking about the voucher, which is employers.
All of the above. Right. So, you know, there is a big backlog. You know, one of the big debates on the backlog issue going on is there's pressure in certain communities that feel like too many vouchers to increase the voucher as well. And everyone knows there's Section 8 is what this is called section voucher, where you get a voucher to help you pay your rent. And it's all private water. So there's pressure to increase the value of those vouchers so people can find more places. The disadvantage is that fewer people you'll have to claim that kind of money, so you give more for the vouchers to spread it out. So the plan certainly is supportive of affordable housing and expanding it, making it more family and disabled and living.
Expanding funding for affordable housing would be great. That was already planned and expanding. So they're not moving in the right direction. Because of that, one thing highlighted in the plan is really just advocating the local affordable. We can allow granny flats. So a lot of communities don't allow granny flats. So we allow a granny flat in the back of a home, maybe if you put a garage or something like that. It's a smaller unit, and it's affordable. And this is just a simple, easy way of getting more affordable housing in the community that's spread out. So the plan does talk about some of those, but more funding would be.
Yeah, I want to endorse that in the plan, the kind of conversions that the walking trail and the green track trail. This is what with targeting corridors along the area, line objectives there, as well as with the people who certainly get in this tax package.
Right.
And then around Green Lane as well. Very, very interesting. I really like the slide. I noted that some of that area is looked at the purpose of things that acquisition to
Yeah, so we have identified that each of the parks kind of reference generally what are areas that are kind of. And just on that issue of our trails, and we are partnering with a group called Montco that's holding an art and trail summit. It's October 1st, if people are interested in this. And in that summit, we're going to try to get a lot of folks together to talk about how can we get all our water. I think it's another thing to be added to our trails. Is a lot of communities there, or it can be even more interpretive things like historic.
Do you monitor usage of those trails? Do you have any measure of how many people use them?
We do, and we're actually getting permanent monitors on them. Mike, you want to know?
Yeah, in fact, there are some monitors, so people trail, will have a temporary traffic monitor just to monitor somebody passing over a grid. In addition to that, we work with the rail frequency to detail surveys and using it and so to give people an opportunity to explain conditions or facilities they want to see. So that's very important. The trail uses change at times. It's very different from the trail you're on, the time of day you're on the trail. But I got to say, almost everybody across all the demographic variables, old, young, all types of people using this trail. There's some trails that get a lot of bikers, some bikers. Some trails are longer. We're not going to design all the trails the same way. Not all of them will be paved, well, wide trails. Some will be more narrow, long paths, they will be longer. They want a more natural experience. Some will be designed for recreation, just one bicycle path. And some will be more family. So that's part of the mix that we have to get working.
No, you had a question? Did you get that answer?
I wanted to kind of please think about how to integrate early childhood education in terms of land use, in terms of transition development, especially where there's mixed use.
Right.
I mean, right now, families, older kids get bused to school, but families are trucking 2 trips a day,
Yeah.
and this is very hard trips.
Oh, yeah, I went through that.
And also spending a whole lot of their discretionary.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and, I mean, I'm with this PA campaign, we're trying to get higher investment, they would all pay all over the state.
Right.
But even here in Montgomery County, where people go there to got us down, really only allowing 5 seats for high quality. And, just as everyone knows that big schools attract families, people's property values, all that, but
think childcare is the same thing, but it's not that in terms. So
Yeah.
it does track jobs, businesses.
Yeah, it's a good point, and we, once again, I think we have it in the plan, but I'm not positive, so I'll make sure we emphasize that in economic development.
We do
Oh,
have a
well, Montgomery
section
County today has a
on
whole section on child care.
childcare and schools.
So that's the background piece.
In
And
the
so we
background,
identify every child daycare in the county, daycare center, not family or group daycare. But that's in the background piece. And in this one, I'm not sure if we mentioned daycare centers or not, but if we don't, we should in the parts on economic development in particular. And getting daycare in where employment is an important economic development tool, actually.
But also where people live, it's
Mhm.
not 50-50.
Right. It is next. Yeah. Okay, we'll make sure it's in.
I am writing all this down.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Right. No, we haven't seen any large-scale proposals coming in for Cheltenham. I think one opportunity would be perhaps as redevelopment happens along the 309 corridor. Seems like a place where we could get some non-residential developments, really what you're looking for. There might be some opportunities along there. But just as far as what's in the pipeline, I'm not aware of any plans, either residential or non-residential, that are currently in the pipeline for Cheltenham. Yes, sir.
For the private road and other stuff, it's very cold. All sorts of vehicles utilizing both.
Right.
My question is there a listen to what the bunch of actions upgrading to
I don't think we have anything specific on what you're talking about in the plan, except where, sorry. So the question was for private roads where there are runoff uses and they get a lot of public use, is there a recommendation in the plan about working in partnership with others to upgrade those roads? And I say there's nothing specific on private roads. There are recommendations on the plan on across the board. We need to be upgrading our road systems. But if you want to mention what the specific road is, we can at least light up the Dublin mill about that and pass it on. Okay. They are. They don't want to take on the cost.
They claim that the ones that bring the code in that case. But that's how we'll just do that.
Right. Pretty expensive. So there is one of the recommendations here is there is a program, Community Development Block Grant Program. It's a federal program that's used for infrastructure in neighborhoods. That could be a possible route where, now that doesn't go for private roads, but maybe some, deal gets worked.
But the stats is private.
Right.
It's very public. Are those grants, aren't they to be
Yeah, they are. That's right. But I mean, maybe that's a way of helping you fund the improvements. Yeah. Yes.
What time frame are you looking at for a lot of these projects? Like the West Country line, that can be implemented in 3-4 years if we have to implement. Whereas the normal line, that's going to be millions of dollars in what? And also some of the Washington, what time frame are we looking at?
Leo, can you answer any of those time frame questions?
In West Bend, the increasing service in West Bend is very quickly, like the next few years. As far as, double tracking, words and grades, that's much more costly. Much more costly to do that, and maybe to, instead of double tracking all the work, always, it does affect, the overall service on the other end of the morning, because all the things, outbound things, think about. Part of the reason why I think that service outbound is really amazing.
I'm Washington.
That's a head-out road, 73. Yeah, about the time you got it, when they repay Washington, and
There's a bridge replacement on that too, on County Bridge, yeah.
it's not a design, so that's probably not a no, the timeframe is not all there.
But you,
It's the, 272,
yes, sir? So, it's Vince owns the road, so that's going to drive who does the lawn and who does the project. So, they try to design these to minimize any purchase of parking so on. And it's been that road with the next one, by private. I mean, I guess now has the ability to buy the private road, right? So that's all those but you have to go through a process. So if there's an historic inn sitting there right on the intersection, you're probably not going to tear down that inn. You know, you do it else. And it really depends on the specifics. Like, I don't know whether you want to add anything. Yeah. That's one that, we know that we've got some work in the past out there, which is terrible. There's a second version of the traffic. On that additional 1798 bridge, and Any other questions, comments, folks? Yes.
Just connected to my earlier comment, I know that you said that there's swamp, or that I did that specifically recognize.
Right.
Trail,
Right. Right. It is, so it's one of the high priority. Right. It could be. I don't know, Mike. Mike, do you know? Is it? Yeah. Mike's our swamp guy too. He has a lot of hats.
Yeah, certainly. It's a neat swamp. I mean, exactly right. Yeah, that is a fire. That's we have to fire. Now, of course, in a couple of weeks, month or so, when that second trail and that trail, just like between the farm line, the farmers that they're taking walk down the trail and get some great views of farm and we work things out with something like this, but overall, not disturbing the least, talking and observe some of the birds in there. The area's been covered by the
Okay. Great.
well, the easters do.
You get from the trail, right? Yeah.
You guys need to get the new back out there, you gotta slog and small.
Well, at this point, unless anyone else has any more questions, I'd like to wrap it up. And staff will be sticking around and answer any specific questions or comments you might have. Once again, Mike is kind of our environmental and open space expert. Leo's our transportation expert. Scott at the door is our demographic expert and is housing. So Matt also in the back is transportation. So please find someone if you have any specific questions or comments to ask them. And thank you everyone for coming. We're recording that. Yep. Okay, thank you.